Welcome back to Tips, Tricks, and Inspiration with Shabby Chic Vintage Chicks. Today we're going to be taking this synthetic paintbrush. It's just a cheap one that I bought off Amazon. And I'm just kind of point cutting the ends because I don't want it to be all even. Then I needed a round surface for doing this painting procedure. And I couldn't find a glass the exact size that I wanted. So I found a little plastic lid. And of course, to hold on to it, I needed a bead or something on there. So I just hot glued it on there. And then because it's such a thin plastic, I'm having to do it several times. If this was a glass, it would have been a thicker surface. And I probably could have got away with maybe once or twice. But I had to do it 3 times because it's such a thin plastic. So it doesn't hold a lot of paint. Now I'm going to take that paintbrush that I kind of point cutted and stipple it on there, just up and down, up and down. And it's giving me nice little tiny dots everywhere. Now, I did accidentally make a little splatter over here. So it's on the back of the card. So my way of fixing it is, let's draw some holly leaves on top of those splatters. So we're just going to touch that up. And I'm going to put some red little berries there. Unfortunately, I didn't leave it long enough and let that green dry before I added red. How many of you are impatient like me? So you can see that red berry is kind of running, and that's okay. We can fix that up after too. So now I'm going in and I'm going to paint a red bow on here. Now, the only problem with this one is I can kind of see that green through, but that's okay because we can fix that up after too. Let's just get our first coat of red on there and make a pretty bow. This whole video looks like it's going to be how to fix up little boo-boos because we all have them. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to do some little red berries all over this. And it's funny, I have problems with my knuckles. I have a little bit of arthritis, I think, in my knuckles right now. And so as I've got closer to the end of making these berries, I was like, oh my goodness, my fingers are like hurting from gripping onto my little paintbrush. If I would have been smarter, I would have went and got a Q-tip and I could have just dabbed these red dots on with a Q-tip. Would have been so much better than trying to do little circly motions with this tiny paintbrush. So there's another tip for you. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to draw on some holly leaves because I figure it needs a little contrast of colors. So again, this is where it would have been really handy if I did those berries with a Q-tip because by the time I'm done this, my fingers are aching. I think I need better paintbrushes that have like a good handle. Like remember when you're in school and you were learning how to draw or color or write your name? They had these little rubber grippers for on your pencil. I need that on paintbrushes. I don't know if they do those, but that's what I'd like to look into. Or maybe the ones for pencils would actually fit on my paintbrushes. I don't know. But here I go, just putting on some holly leaves. And I'm putting some going in one angle, some going in another, trying to make it, not look too, I don't know what the word is. Now, because that red berry has kind of run, I'm going back with the darker green that I did the holly leaves in earlier. And I'm going to go over top of this light green, but I want to leave a tiny bit of that light green in behind just for, some depth. For some reason, I'm saying a lot tonight. If that bothers you, I apologize because it's kind of bothering me and I'm not sure why I'm saying that so much this time. Maybe I do it all the time. Now we're just going to do a handmade for you so that it looks like those berries should have been back there on purpose. Let's go in with a darker red and go over that bow so we can try and blend in that green that's in behind the bow. So I'm going to go in with a darker, almost like a burgundy red now. What do you think? I think we need some lighter red here inside just to give it some contrast. And then I'm going to dry this up really well. Now, my bow is kind of just, I don't know, it's looking pretty basic. So I'm going to go in with a Posca and I'm going to put some details in with a white Posca. If you don't know what a Posca is, it's an acrylic paint marker. Well, it's actually acrylic paint pen, but it writes like a marker. This one is a very fine tip, and I can do some detailing. It is looking really stinking good, despite all the mistakes that I was making. Now I'm going to take one of my Pitt pens. This is one of the ones that does like calligraphy writing. Oh, I just noticed I've got some splatters down there. Oh my goodness. Okay, we can fix that. So we grabbed this paintbrush and dipped it in the green, and then we're just going to splatter some more. And you can see there was a little bit of red on my brush, and I got a few red splatters too, but that's okay. It's going to look really, really pretty. It looks like it was all planned to be that way. It really does. It looks gorgeous. I hope this helped you out, and it shows you we can fix our mistakes. Make sure you subscribe.